Welcome back to Educator.com AP World History. It's so good to see you, and I hope you will enjoy today's session. We're going to look at gender in world history. We're kind of like looking at gender as just for a few minutes. It's kind of like taking a side road up to the viewpoint and stopping a little bit and taking a look at something in particular instead of, as we usually do in history, just whizzing by everything. And then, so let's take a look at gender in world history. So, question: why is gender a theme in world history? Do you have an answer for that? Let's pursue this and see what we come up with. First of all, in the AP World History course description, there are 5 themes and 4 historical thinking skills, so that pervade the whole course. They're not something you teach separately, but they're an integral part of the course. Down here, I have it here: knowledge and thinking skills. We have to have both of these, knowledge and thinking skills, to do history. If we just have knowledge, then we're like a record that can say things, kind of like talking to Siri, but we don't know how to manipulate that information to make sense of it, to compare it, to see it in context, and to all kinds of interesting things that we do with our thinking skills, which is the heart of history, interpretation. But if we have no knowledge, we can't do that with it. So the two are intertwined with each other. Unfortunately, many students think it's only the knowledge, and they learn all the knowledge, and then they don't do well on those essays because they can't manipulate it. They can't think it through. So we're doing both. So first of all, let's look at a theme. And the theme is development and transformation of social structures. And these are the breakdowns of that: gender, roles and relations, family and kinship, racial and ethnic constructions. In other words, they're not really existing. There's something we put on top. And social and economic classes. What we're looking at today is this theme: gender, roles, and relationships. And what is a theme? It's something that recurs. It happens over and over again as we go through our history. And we see it, and you'll notice most of your textbooks will say there'll be something about gender in almost every unit. And that's because it is a theme. Now, we also have the 4 historical thinking skills, and the last one of those, number 4, is historical interpretation and synthesis. Big words again, but it says there, students should be able to critique diverse historical interpretations, and students should be recognizing how models of historical interpretation change over time. There's a big word for that. Historiography. And historiography, I learned about that in the later part of my career in college, and it really just opened up a lot of things for me to think about the fact that history is not static. We'll talk about that in a minute. So, you got to be able to look at an interpretation and find critiques for it, because it is an interpretation. It's not the truth. It's an attempt to get at the truth. And you got to recognize that it's going to change over time. So these are two that go together here, because gender as a theme has changed